Hi, I'm Daniel Fisher, Director of Product Optimization here at Sweetwater Sound. Today I'm really excited to show you the Superego Plus by Electro-Harmonix. Now this is an improvement over the original Superego, which if you've watched any of my videos, you know that is one of my favorite pedals in the whole world. And we're going to put links to any other videos I've made using that so you can get some more information. And because this is an improvement over an original pedal, I'm not going to go through every single detail. You can watch the original Superego pedal because everything the original did, this can do as well. But what's different? Well, starting from left to right, the first really big thing is that instead of a single knob for its attack time and decay time, there's now a separate knob for attack and decay. So I can have my frozen chords fade in at a certain rate, and when I let go of them, they can fade out at a different rate. That's really cool. Also, it has a new effects section that it did not have before, with detune, echo, delay, flange, phase, mod, rotary, trim 1 and 2, pitch shift, and filter with resonance. And all of those effects go to the frozen section. And then the last thing is that I have an expression pedal in now, which when the effects are off, it controls the volume of the frozen chords, which is very useful. And when the effects are on, it controls a specific function for each of these different effects. All of them are very musical and very useful. Like the original, it has a send and return, and it allows you to put effects on the frozen sound. And that's the same with these effects too. They're primarily for the frozen sound. Why is that important? One, because you're trying to make your frozen chord sound different than what you're going to jam over that with. So the effects kind of put it into a different sound category. Also, because the frozen part is a fairly short amount of time looping, it's not as interesting as a real chord held over a long time. So it kind of just adds a little bit of animated life back to it. I'm going to be using this in some different ways than I did for the original video. And also, if you haven't seen the Bill Rupert video, which is also on our webpage, it's amazing. He's so good at this stuff. And his demo shows a lot of things like layering and playing over those layers. He also does a great harmonica simulation. But I'm going to do more ambient stuff because that's what I love this pedal for. And so the first thing I'm going to do is just show you the latch. So if I just grab a chord, I can grab a chord. I have complete control over its volume. I have complete control over its dry volume, which is very convenient. And a double tap lets that chord fade away. That's in latch mode. There's also a momentary mode where as long as you step on the pedal, you're grabbing. And when you let go, it's gone, so you don't have to worry about double tapping. And then there's an auto mode that automatically grabs your chord whenever it exceeds the volume level set by this threshold. And a double tap takes you out of that. And then when you light up all three LEDs, it puts it into a mode where the effects section is now available to your regular guitar sound and not the frozen part. In fact, it bypasses the frozen part. But now you have a pretty powerful effects unit. And I have an expression pedal connected to the expression pedal input, and that moves the primary parameter for each of these effects. So for example, right now I'm in detune, and I can control the detune amount. I have an echo. And I can control the delay time. I have a delay, which is more of an analog delay, so it kind of rolls off the top end. And then I have a flange, and the really cool part about this flange is in the first half of the throw of the knob, you're controlling a stationary flange, and so I can just move through. And then when I get past that, all of a sudden it becomes a regular sweeping flange. So very powerful there. And then there's a phase shifter, which goes from very slow to very fast. A mod. A rotary simulator with fast and slow. Two types of tremolo, a standard kind of sine wave tremolo. And then a square wave for a choppier tremolo. And then there's a pitch shifter, which lets you go from an octave down with a mix, so you could go fully wet, all the way to an octave up. And then there's a filter that lets you sweep from low to high. And you have resonance control, so we can go from mellow to extreme. And you can even self-oscillate. So, pretty cool. All right, so now I'm going to show you the send and return feature. I'm going to be using the Mel 9. It's basically a mellotron simulator. It's brilliant. I have it set on an orchestral setting, so I'm going to latch a G minor chord. And I can play over that. But if I turn that on, and if I set it to auto, I could, and then turn the dry off, so I'm not going to play solos. I'm just going to use this as kind of an orchestral thing I can do live. Now I can just strum orchestral chords all I want. All right, so now I have the Ibanez bass plugged in. I have the mode set to auto, so as I play notes louder than the threshold, it'll grab them. Eventually I'll turn on the effects, which are set to a pitch shift an octave above, and then I'll turn on the Mel 9 and add some choir to that. I've got the Holy Grail Neo going for some reverb. Let's see what happens. All right, now I'm going to use the Korg MS-20 Mini analog synthesizer. I'll go into the Superego. I'll have it set to auto, so as I play different notes, it'll start grabbing those. I'll have the layer up most of the way, so it'll hold the notes a while, but it'll keep fading as I add new notes. I'll have the gliss on. Then in the send and return, I'll have the Mel 9. I'll have that set to flutes. And then I will have the pitch shifter set to an octave, but then I'll put the 8-step program into that and have a little sequence pattern actually changing the pitches of the harmonies. So that should be pretty neat. And of course, all of it will go through the Holy Grail Reverb. So here's the dry signal. And I'll start grabbing it. So, if you have any further questions about the Superego Plus or any of these other Electro-Harmonic pedals, please contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. My name is Daniel Fisher. Thank you very much for listening.